Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of HorrorHands, and for this video I'm going to be talking about the remake of Prom Night. So this is based on the, I think it's 1980 slasher movie. I'll just talk about that one briefly. I've seen that one once before many years ago, and I remember that being okay. I remember it being a decent enough slasher. Nothing groundbreaking, but entertaining enough. I did consider rewatching it before seeing this movie, but I didn't, because just, number one, I don't have the time, and I thought it might be beneficial to approach this movie with more of a clean slate. Not that it made much of a difference, because I really didn't enjoy this remake very much at all. It's a very, very bland film. It does nothing to think outside the box or bring anything new to the genre. The things that happen in this film you will have seen probably hundreds of times before in other films, other better films as well, which is quite frustrating really, because if you're going to remake a film, one would expect that you bring something to the table that warrants making this film again. But it's just very, very formulaic and very, very bland. So in this film, the main girl in the story, her parents are killed at the beginning of the film, and the guy is sort of locked up, and then a couple of years later he escapes on prom night, and he goes back to find this girl. He's like obsessed with her, and he gets into the hotel where the prom is taking place and hides out in a hotel room and proceeds to kill a few of the hotel staff and a couple of the students attending the prom. But like I say, it's very, very bland and very, very formulaic. If you've not seen this film, you've still seen this film, if that makes sense. There's nothing here that hasn't been done countless of times before, and it was just really boring and uninteresting and entirely ordinary is I guess the way to describe it. And I guess that's probably why this film hasn't done all that well, or hasn't kind of made any waves, because for me the original Prom Night was an okay movie, but it didn't sort of reach the heights of like Halloween or Friday the 13th. So they've taken a quite average original film and made a very, very average remake. So it's no surprise that this one kind of came out and fizzled out rather quickly after its release. One thing I didn't enjoy was there was a lot of fake scares in this film. So things like the main character, she turns around or she opens the door and there's somebody there and she screams, but it turns out just to be a friend. And you expect to see this one or two times in this kind of film, but this happened over and over again, to the point where it just became irritating, and it comes across as quite lazy filmmaking. I also didn't like the killer in this film. He's very, very boring. He's just some guy, doesn't wear a mask, doesn't have any kind of features that set him apart to anybody else in the film. Again, it just comes across as lazy filmmaking. There's also sort of no backstory to him, really. We learn that he was an ex-teacher that is obsessed with this girl, but there's no real motive or driving force behind why he's doing what he's doing. It's very, very boring. So yeah, this one wasn't for me. I just sort of put it with that sort of quite a large bunch of generic slashers that you kind of just tend to forget about. I've just watched it now, and I imagine in a few hours' time I will have forgot all about it. So I'd give this one a 3 out of 10 on the whole. And another thing as well, although it's set on prom night, it doesn't really capture the party atmosphere. There are several scenes of the prom night taking place, and music and dancing and that kind of thing, but it has quite a sombre atmosphere that doesn't quite go with the film that it is. It doesn't really have a party vibe to it. So again, just misses the mark on on so many levels. So yeah, this one wasn't for me. But let me know if you've seen this and what you think. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.